Hi, I'm Erik Linask, coming to you here in the TMC newsroom from San Jose, California this week. I'm talking with Mahi Silva. He's the EVP of Consumer Mobile for Opera Software. Mahi, thanks for joining us and welcome.
Thank you for having us, Erik.
So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Maybe we start off with Opera's most recent announcement. If you want to get into that a little bit.
Sure. We just announced a major enhancement to the Opera Open Mobile Ad Exchange, which is an open marketplace between publishers and advertisers to help for publishers to optimize their revenue and for advertisers to gain access to this big audience that we have now, over 120 million consumers around the world. And two new features. One is we introduced an enhancement to that service called the Opera Audience Network. And the Audience Network gives publishers and carriers and OEMs the ability to really understand who's using their products and services. And this is gained from the intelligence of the 120 plus million users we have around the world. And then the second enhancement was that we've added real-time bidding, an auction interface for advertisers to come in and say, well, I'm looking for a user that's using an HTC Android device in Brazil between the hours of 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. And we can actually take that bid, if you will, for that targeted placement, and then place that amongst the publishers that we have in our ad exchange. So it's really a brand new feature. Nobody else is offering that type of targeting capability in mobile today. And we expect lots of interesting traction with both publishers and advertisers with that feature.
Are there any potential privacy concerns with using user data that way, user intelligence?
Well, our privacy policy is that we've always been staunch supporters of consumers protecting their privacy. So all of this data is anonymous. There's no personally identified information. It's only data such as what carrier network consumers come in on, what core screen geography, which is really down to country today, time of day, day part, those type of things, and then just contextual categories of where consumers are browsing. So are they at a sports site? Are they at a news site, a social media site, things like that.
How does Opera define its value proposition compared to the other mobile browsers out there?
Great question. So we've always been known for our great user experience. So whether you're using a low-end Java phone, a mid-tier Nokia phone like a Symbian OS, an Android phone, a BlackBerry phone, or an iOS tablet, we deliver the best user experience on all of those platforms. And we run on 3,000 devices around the world, as opposed to some of these new browsers that run on just a handful. But the more salient value proposition we have for consumers is that we really help them manage the cost of browsing on the internet. So as these all-you-can-eat data plans have disappeared, we can compress up to 90% of what standard browsers consume over the air. So we deliver a cheaper experience and a faster experience to consumers in a consistent way using standard HTML5 and web standards. A great example is, I spent a lot of time in New York, in Manhattan, and I have lots of friends and colleagues that whip out their Android phone or their iPhone, and they try to get on the network, and the network is completely clogged. I'll take out my phone and I'll fire up the Opera browser, and I can get to my content because we use so little of the over-the-air bandwidth that even when you've got a very congested connection, consumers can get to the content that they're looking for.
Is the Opera browser available for all mobile OSs?
All OSs, and today, huge uptake in markets like Android and iOS, And we look at every new platform that comes out, and once they've hit critical mass, we tend to very quickly support them.
Is there a geographical differentiation with regards to uptake?
We have very, very strong presence in Europe and CIS, in Southeast Asia, but with our relationships with the mobile operators here in the US, they're distributed on a lot of feature phones here, and we expect that to expand over time as well.
Excellent, fantastic. Mahi, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Erik, thank you.